If you've ever shaved with a razor that's older than you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, welcome to the Soap Thing Project. Thank you so much for joining me today. And for this shave of the week, it's going to be kind of an old school shave today. We're going to use Sir Henry's Quartet. And this is their interpretation of a barbershop scent. And in this case, $16 will get you 4 ounces of non-tallow based soap. We'll talk about the scent more during the shave. On the side of the container, you can see here are the ingredients. There's not a lot of ingredients in here that jump out at me as high quality, but that doesn't necessarily equate to performance. So I've had soaps with not a lot of ingredients in them perform quite well, and this one is no different. So Sir Henry's Quartet. After shave for today is going to be Myrsol Don Carlos 1972, and this is a fresh citrus floral sort of thing. It's good stuff though. Myrsol makes great aftershaves. Razor for today is going to be my Gillette Slim Adjustable. And this one is a Razor Emporium revamp. I got it at a antique shop here in St. Louis, and it wasn't even in that bad a shape, but I sent it over to Razor Emporium and they cleaned it up, fixed it up, and put a new nickel finish on it. And this is currently on setting 8, but we will adjust it accordingly as necessary. We're going to put a Gillette 365 blade in it. Those work quite well in the Gillette Slim Adjustable, I found. And the brush is going to be this 24mm Maggard SHD on a Knothead Brushworks Ever-Ready inspired handle. Love this brush. So let's get all this together and let's do a shave today. Alright, as you can see, we have the Sir Henry's Quartet in the bottom of the bowl. And this is actually the shave bowl from shavebowl.com. It's been sitting around collecting dust for a while, so I figured why not get it out and do a shave with it. I actually don't need the bottom half of the shave bowl, so I'm going to set that aside for a moment. And for this one, why don't we do, let's just do 10. Why not? Let's do it. I think that was 10. Yeah, 10. And here we go, lathering the Sir Henry's Quartet. Right off the bat, it's looking a little sudsy, but I'm pretty sure that means it just needs to be agitated some more. It's always scary to see lots of suds, because that's usually indicative of entirely too much water, but there's still a lot of soap in the bottom of the bowl, so I think we're gonna get a good lather out of this. The soap wants to spill over the top of the bowl. Part of the reason I don't use this bowl that often is because it doesn't have the greatest agitating properties. It doesn't tend to generate a lather quite like the Pereira Shavery bowl or even the Langley City bowl. Even the Langley City bowl has those ripples in it to aid in agitation. This one just has a flat bottom with a little bit of a slightly abrasive surface. So, and this is looking like I could probably add just a touch more water. It's going all over the place. So I'm just going to agitate this a little bit more. Stir it around. And I think that's good enough. I could agitate this a little bit more and probably get a little more structure and volume out of it, but that is totally unnecessary. This is more than enough to do a great shave today. So let's get to it. All right, I've got roughly 30 hours of growth on the face today, so more than enough to do a shave. So let's wet the face, and then we're going to put a pre-shave on. Pre-shave is going to be Pereira white with green tea and oatmeal for sensitive skin. And while we're putting the pre-shave and the lather on the face, let's talk about barbershop scented soaps. So don't be shy. Put it in the comments what your favorite barbershop scented soap is. Mine is, when it comes to vintage barbershops, mine is probably Mike's Natural. That is the standard by which I judge other vintage barbershop scented soaps, or soaps that are intended to smell old-timey. Okay, let's get started. Now, Gillette Slim Adjustable. This one is a K4, so fourth quarter 1965 with a Gillette 365 blade in it. On setting 8 at the moment. We'll see how that goes. Let's get started. So far, so good. So let's talk about the scent of the Sir Henry's Quartet. Now this soap, they don't advertise their notes. But I do know that it's heavy on the rosemary. You can definitely smell it, and Dominick has admitted as much, that there's a fair amount of rosemary in it. Other than that, he prefers to keep the scent notes a mystery. One could probably guess the notes that are in it. Most barbershops have basil, oak moss, bergamot, the usual suspects. So, but this one is a fairly standard smelling barbershop. I probably would peg this as a vintage barbershop. It's got a vintage sort of vibe. It smells nothing like a London style barbershop or a modern barbershop. I don't get those kind of vibes from it. So if that's what they're going for, that's not what I'm getting out of it. I'm getting more of a vintage barbershop sort of vibe. Okay, go down on the neck on setting 8, and we'll see how much trouble we get into. I think setting 8 is fine, as long as I'm not doing a ton of blade buffing. If I start blade buffing a lot with this, it's going to get rough real fast. Primary and residual slickness on this is very good. It's definitely providing plenty of protection. And this Gillette 365 blade is feeling very smooth. It is truly amazing how these razors that are 50, 60, 70, 100 years old. Can be refurbished and then they'll go who knows how much longer. Because this is 1965 and it was perfectly usable in the condition that it was in. It just had a lot of the nickel plating coming off. But the TTO doors were opening symmetrically. And it was still in the case, so. But I am not a collector, I am a shaver. The scent on this is definitely rosemary heavy, which gives it a slightly spicy sort of impression. At least that's what I get out of it when I smell it. Scent strength on this, by the way, is a 3 out of 5. So stout, but not overbearing. But it has a slightly spicy sort of vibe. It's spicier than most barbershop scents. Looks like I got a couple nicks down here. That's always right here and right there. If I'm going to get a nick, that's usually where I get them. Sometimes if I'm really not behaving myself, I'll get them up here in my upper lip, but usually it's just right through here. Missed a spot back there. And I think we're going to stop while we're ahead. So there's a couple of nicks right here. But with 24 hours growth for me, I am more prone to nicks and cuts anyway. It's just something about how my facial hair isn't quite long enough. So I will tend to need a more mild razor on less than 2 days growth. And I didn't choose to do that today, so I got predictable results. Now, I don't have any irritation. There's no burning. And I am prone to, acne and ingrown hairs anyway. So some of this could be just skin imperfections. I was applying no pressure. So, no pressure with the razor. But let's move on to the Alum Block and the aftershave. Alright, time for the Razor Rock Alum Block. Now, I gotta say, the residual slickness on this soap is no joke. Like, it's still hanging in there. Like, I can still feel the slickness from the soap. Most residual slickness on soaps are gone by now. A little bit of stinging down here. I think I screwed the pooch by picking level 8 on the slim adjustable. But lesson learned. Down here is just a touch of stinging. Up here is fine. Looks like I got a nick up there too. Yeah, I should not have chose setting 8. I should have dialed it down a little bit. But for most of the shave, it felt fine. So, alright. That'll be not the greatest Alum Block report card on the Soap Thing project, but hey, you can't win every battle. Alright. Time for the Don Carlos 1972 from Myrsol. I have a feeling this is going to sting a little bit. Here we go. You know what? It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It does sting, but it's not like Kevin McAllister Home Alone burn. Feels good though, and it smells great. I'll tell you what, this shave was something else. This is the first time where I actually needed a styptic pencil, and I didn't have any because I lost them when I moved from my old house into this one. Go figure. But now, my final thoughts on Sir Henry's Quartet. My usual question, if I exhausted this to an empty tub, would I buy it again? And with this one, yes I would. Their soaps seem to be pretty good. I discovered them recently, right before I did the interview with Dominick. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the description of the video. I went over to Dominick's place of business and we had a conversation about Sir Henry's. So, but it's good stuff. The residual slickness on this lasts way longer than it has any right to. Way longer than I've ever seen any other soap. Take that with a grain of salt, but that's the experience that I've been having with these soaps lately. So that'll be Sir Henry's Quartet and the shave for this week. I want to thank everybody for watching, and until next time, this is Soap Thing telling you, shave like you mean it. Thanks for watching.